welcome to Gooder Days on the Great Loop. My name is Alan. This is my beautiful wife, Yolanda. Now I got to tell you, she's not here on this trip because she had foot surgery and she's been recovering. So we're on our way down to Mobile. I was hoping she's going to get to join us in Mobile, but it looks like it's going to be more like Pensacola. So we've been on the water for, I guess, 6 days now. This is day number 6. And we've gone probably about 300 miles. And so we're going to go tonight to Tensas River, anchor out, and then we got 58 miles over to Fairhope. So we started on November 2nd, and we've been averaging about 50 to 60 miles a day. We've had absolutely beautiful, beautiful weather, and couldn't ask for anything better. But today we woke up and there was like drizzling, fog, a little bit of rain, and it pretty much rained on us all the way till noon. But right now, just right at noon here, I guess it's 11:30, and still a little bit of clouds, the rain clouds around us. But we do have the windows open and it's nice. It's about 76 degrees, so the temperature is really, really nice. But we're trucking along at about 7.25 knots, and we've got about 4.5 hours to go. A total of 33.8 knots from here, and it's just slow going. Not a lot of people on the river today, but it is Friday, and it's just slow going. So what I wanted to talk about yesterday was the fact that we decided to change up our plans, because we were planning on being down in Mobile Bay Sunday and taking 3 days to get to Mobile and then crossing Monday. But we have some weather coming in. It's going to be pretty windy. We're going to have gusts up to 28, 30 knots. So instead of crossing the bay on Monday, we're going to cross on Sunday morning. So what that meant was we've got to speed it up a little bit. So we went on plane for a little bit, and we got our average from 7 knots all the way up to 9 knots. And we hit about 21.3 for some sections. But when we're on plane, we cruise roughly at about 17 to 18 knots. Now we've been with some boats, they cruise as efficient at 9.5 knots as we do at 7. They got bigger props, bigger engines, so at a lower speed they get a little bit better efficiency. So if I'm going to go 9 or 10 knots, I might as well go 17, because the burn rate's half a mile per gallon either way. So if I get up over 8, it makes sense to go on plane and go 17. So if we're going to push 9 or 10, we're just burning fuel for no reason at all. So what we're doing right now is a sweet spot. We're running about 1,250 RPM, and we're getting right at about 3.5 gallons per hour, and we're running 7.3 knots. So that's a little bit better than 2 miles per gallon. So I call this the sweet spot, because that's where I'm going to get really my maximum efficiency and also speed. So I can certainly slow down and get 3 miles per gallon, but then I'm doing only 5 or 6 knots, and it just takes forever to get anywhere. So here's, since we've probably got about a knot of current going down the 10-Tom waterway, we're pushing pretty good, 7.25 knots on average. And so that's pretty good. I think that'll work, because I budget 1 mile per gallon. So that way, if I have 200 gallons in my fuel tank, I know I can go at least 200. If I baby it, 300, and extreme case 400. So that gives me my range of what I want to do. And so I always keep track of where our next fuel stop is, because the next thing on fuel stops, as you may have heard me say before, was the fact that I'm a safe harbor member. A lot of loopers, they talk about why join the safe harbor, and basically it requires you to rent a slip for the whole year at one marina when you're never going to be there. Well, number one is you pay up in Tennessee at Aqua Yacht, we pay about $300, $400 a month for a slip that's not covered. And what that gives us is it gives us at least $1 to $1.50 discount on fuel at safe harbor marinas around the country, and there's over 130 of them. And the next thing is it gives us 3 free transient nights. So we've already booked Sportsman Marina down in Orange Beach. We've booked Emerald Coast down in Destin. We've booked Regatta Point down in, where is that, Bradenton, Palmetto area. We've booked Burnt Store, which is in Punta Gorda. And then we've also done Marathon. All these like 2 to 3 nights a piece. And on average, these normally cost about $200 a night. So just in our travels to get down to the Keys this year, there'll probably be about $2,000 in savings and just slip savings. And that's of course only if you go on like to dock up, which we like to dock up and get the amenities there. We don't have a dog, but still we like to get out and go for a walk, go to restaurants and that kind of thing. If you anchor out all the time, then it's not going to be as much of a value. So it's going to save you on your docking fees for that. Then in the fuel, we'll probably save at least another $500 to $600 on fuel, because we just got minimal fuel to get us to Orange Beach from the Safe Harbor Aqua Yachts. And we're going to be down there and we'll fill up, and we get gas at right now prices is $2.86 a gallon. We just paid $4.21 at Bobby's Fishcamp. So it's definitely worth it. So between $4.21 and $2.86, that's about $1.50 a gallon. Multiply that times 300. So you're seeing right there alone in that one fill up, that's $400 or $500. So that's pretty big. So that's the advantage of being Safe Harbor. I plugged in before. I think it's a good deal. Really boils down to how many times you're going to use the transient slips and how much fuel you're going to burn. If you're on a small boat that doesn't burn a lot of fuel and you like to anchor out, it is not going to be worth it. So if you're like us, where we're kind of like middle to on the upside, where we like to go fast at times and we like to stay in docks a lot, it's definitely well worth it. So you just have to take a look and say how many nights a year I'm going to be a transient dock that's Safe Harbor, and how much fuel I'm going to burn in a year, and where I'm going to be at to be able to fuel up and save that 80 to $1.20 a gallon. Because I have seen cheaper fuel out there, but never cheaper than Safe Harbor. Sometimes it may be only 40 cents cheaper, and sometimes it's $1.50 cheaper. So again, you do the math. I think it's worth it because of our looper style and the way we go around the loop and where we dock and we burn fuel. Just like the other day, we burned a lot of fuel going up on plane at 21 knots. And so we had to take on 100 gallons at Bobby's Fishcamp just to make it to Orange Beach. So sometimes you just can't use it, but again, I just buy fuel to get to the next one. So that's it. Also, I put some drone footage out there. I'll share with you. Really had some beautiful days. I got the drone up when we were at a beautiful anchorage. It had a full moon up. It was absolutely beautiful. Also, the next day we got the drone up when we were just going down the Tennessee River. And you can see there's just like nobody out here. We're here by ourselves, tooling along at 7, 8, 9 knots. And absolutely beautiful. Now I could say we ran out of gooder days. Today's just a good day because we've got overcast, we had rain half a day, but again, every day's a good day, just not so much of a gooder day today. So again, just to wrap this up, we're heading to Mobile Bay, Fairhope Marina, which is a city dock. And I'll say one more thing, Bobby's Camp. I can see why people anchor out instead of going a mile up to Bobby's Camp. I had no idea. We got in there at 5 o'clock and we anchored up, fueled up, and they charged $130 for this boat for one night. And it's just a dock. It's nothing fancy. There's no marina. There's nothing. And at the last, at Kingfisher, we paid like $84 a night, and we had laundromat, we had courtesy cars, we had every really nice place. Kingfisher there in Demopolis was awesome. Even Columbus and Midway were way better than Bobby's Fishcamp at almost half the price. So anyways, you're paying for the convenience of there's nothing else around Bobby's Fishcamp, and you're either going to anchor out or you're going to pay the money to stay at Bobby's. There's only 2 boats last night, and I have seen in some videos where in the busy season, sometimes they're 3 deep rafted up at Bobby's. But that must have been when they didn't charge that much, because I'm thinking, with the economy the way it is, $130 an hour for just a place to dock, I'm going to drop anchor somewhere. So I would certainly do that coming back through and do that, drop anchor. There's several good anchorages just within 10 miles of Bobby's. But Bobby's is just a couple miles north of the Coffeeville lock, which is the last lock. So we went through the last lock, and it's about a 30-foot drop, and that was lock number 12. We dropped probably a total of about 420 feet over 400 miles, and so there will be no more locks until we hit up to New York. So we are out of the locks, we're at sea level, and now we're going to be just cruising, doing the looper lifestyle, heading to the Keys for the winter. So we are going to stay a month in the wharf down in Orange Beach for the AGLCA. So we are going to be down in Orange Beach for a whole month, and that's going to be probably around December. Let's see, November 12th through December 12th, and then we're going to have about 20 days to get to the Keys. So look for us on Gooder Days on the Great Loop as we move towards South Florida for some warmer weather. With that, we'll see you on the water very soon. Okay, we are in Mobile Bay here, coming up to Mobile Bay, just coming out of Mobile River. You can see we got the Carnival Spirit ship out here. We got the police out here standing guard, and again, beautiful day. But here comes Mobile Bay. So successful navigation of the Tin Tom Big Wee Waterway, and our river comes to an end. And we're going to zip across Mobile Bay over to Fairhope, call it a day. So again, this is Mobile Harbor, very busy commercial traffic, but we've managed to get through it without bumping anything, so that's a good thing. So we'll see you very soon on the water.